Tough loss for the Angels last night to kick off this 6-game homestand tonight. They got their former ace. I guess he kind of is still the ace. He is Jared Weaver. He's on the mound for the Angels, trying to even up this series at a game apiece. All right, buddy, we welcome you inside the Big A and back to Angels baseball on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and I mentioned the Tampa Bay Rays in town. They took game one. Jared Weaver is on the mound for the Angels, and of course last night was a bullpen game, so the bullpen a little bit taxed over the last week and a half. They need Jared to work deep into the game.
Yeah, you talk about an ace, a former ace, but he's still the ace of being at the Big A. No question about it. He's throwing the ball so well throughout his entire career here at home, and look for him to get back to that command of his breaking ball. I think his fastball command down in the strike zone really hurt him his last time out against Milwaukee. His curveball, his changeup should be very effective against a club that does swing and miss often, especially with off-speed pitches from Weaver. And he's got one of the best changeups in all of baseball, go along with his curveball, slider, fastball. We don't worry about that. We just worry about upper part of the zone with that. 45 games over 500 at home for Weaver, an ERA 2.68. Winning percentage is .714, which is second best. Third best, I should say, all-time. Only two lefties with better winning percentages at home than Weaver. Looking for him to deal tonight.
And while the focus has been the pitching, the offense is yet to get it going. They need to do so against Jake Odorizzi tonight. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. game last night made it 8 consecutive games in which a starter has yet to go 6 innings, and that matches a franchise high that was set back in 1982, July 1st through July 8th of 1982. The Angels did it that year, and of course it was a very good year. A little different ball club with a lot of big names on that 82 team.
Well, no question about it. A lot of good players in the lineup, on the mound. But this team right now, they're looking for their leader, and Jared Weaver is certainly the leader of this club, to go out and get some length out of this start here tonight, and some quality pitching, especially against a club that relies a lot on the home run ball but will strike out quite a bit.
Check out Kevin Cash's lineup for the Tampa Bay Rays. Game number 28 for them. They are currently 13-14 on the season. It's Forsythe at second base. Brad Miller homered last night. Had a 4-hit game for the second time in his career. He's at short. Evan Longoria third. Dickerson the DH. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Logan Morrison gets the start at first base tonight. Desmond Jennings out at left. Kiermaier in center, the Gold Glove winner. Then our former Angel and our good friend Hank Conger behind the plate tonight. He will bat ninth. He of the robot after home runs with the Houston Astros last year. There's Hank. That lineup is, of course, taking on Jared Weaver. Weaver comes into this one making his 6th start, 3-1, a 5.40 ERA.
And we talked about how well he has thrown 2-0 already this season at home. My go-tos for Weaver to be successful in this game against the Rays: upper zone success. That means the fastball, upper part of the strike zone, to set up his curveball and changeup, and use off speed for outs. Use that curveball, use that changeup to get outs, not only when you're ahead of the count, but early in counts to get pop-ups in the infield.
Take a look at the defense for the Angels, and kind of the same lineup we've seen for the Halos throughout the season, especially with Nava back. Nava in left, Trout at center, Calhoun at right, Escobar, Simmons, Giavatello, Crone around the infield, Soto behind the dish.
Giavatello back out playing second base here tonight. Has committed 1 error so far this season. 984 fielding percentage, 978 last year, so he has improved. He's done a very good job as far as turning double plays also.
Mike Scioscia is out, and all 4 umpires are gathering in front of the dugout there. Now, the last time we see this, it's usually because the replay phone or a bullpen phone is not working, so both teams aren't able to use them until the order is restored. But I'm not sure if that's the case. That's what we're speculating.
Otherwise, they're talking about how good of a song this is for Weaver to start the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure Jared really appreciates the delay after getting ready to go. And look how thrilled he is.
Yeah, he's got one of the best game faces you're going to see when taking the mound.
I mean, Soto had already thrown down and everything.
And now the conversation will run over Kevin Cash with the Rays.
Well, the umpires are putting on the headsets. They're going to talk to New York. Yesterday we had a delay, 10-minute delay with Tom Halley and the crew chief unable to come out for personal reasons. We had a 3-man crew. Tonight we have a 4-man crew. Halley is not a part of it, but it's Dan Bellino, Scott Berry, Adam Hamari, and Tony Randazzo. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Randazzo that is the acting crew chief. And they're getting a long explanation over to Kevin Cash. Hopefully we'll give you the information once we get it, if we ever get it. Play has yet to begin. A little bit of a delay here.
Looks like Dan Bellino's going to explain it to Jared Weaver right now also. Certainly an odd scenario here early on.
And it's a long conversation with each guy. That's the curious thing.
Now it's going to go back and talk to Mike Scioscia, looks like, at this point.
Scioscia got the explanation. Now Cash is getting one. And again, the times when we've seen this, it's been because of a malfunction with the equipment in the dugout. whether it's back to the clubhouse to see their own reviews or with a bullpen situation. And it looks like we actually might be ready to go now. So Logan Forsythe, after a little bit of a delay here, will lead things off. First pitch in for a strike. Forsythe hitting .316, 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. And a 2-for-5 game last night with a double and a single. Also scored a run. This one's line to left. Lead-off single. Brings up Brad Miller. We're being told that the Angels replay system is down, and that was the explanation that was just given to us from New York. So they'll be monitoring everything. Crew chiefs reviews will probably be, I guess, prevalent if they're necessary. As Forsythe is over at first base, and that's the reason for the delay to start the game. Just a couple of minutes.
And Forsythe now 4 for 11 against Weaver. Has some decent speed, 3 stolen base in 4 attempts.
First one outside. Miller came into the series batting .174, and after going 4 for 5 last night, raised the average to .216. That's 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. A homer to lead off the 3rd inning last night. This is a Rays team that will hit the long ball. It's a breaking ball for a strike. They've got 18 home runs in the last 10 games.
He'll also run a little bit. Also 12 stolen bases. Been caught 7 times. Don't sacrifice bunt a whole lot. Just 1 this whole season.
Forsythe with a decent lead at first base. 3 bags for him on the year. He's been caught once. This was popped up. Escobar drifting over and now back. 1 down.
That's more likely from Weaver. So, you know, when he's going well, you'll see a lot of pop-ups in the infield. That game against Milwaukee, his last time out, a lot of ground ball, line drive type swings against Weaver. Lower part of the strike zone, upstairs, especially with all speed and even his fastball, he'll get a lot more pop-ups and miss swings during the course of a game. The lowest ground ball percentage by any pitcher in the majors is 26%. Baseball's put in play are on the ground against Weaver.
Quick throw to first. Forsythe is back. Evan Longoria, .236 average, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Hitless last night, going 0 for 4, but did have a sac fly. Rays had a total of 11 hits last night. The Angels had 8 in the 5-2 loss.
Weaver with 25 career pickoffs. 1 this year.
Breaking ball in there. It's 0-2. Leadoff single for Logan Forsythe. Miller with a pop-up. Change-up out to center. Back a couple of steps as Trout 2 down.
So we talk about using an all-speed pitch to get outs. Change-up hit fairly well, but still kind of a big part of the field to get the second out of the inning.
So 2 outs and a man on for Dickerson, the DH. And a 3-run blast in the first against Corey Rasmus last night.
Giavotella well into the outfield grass in right center field.
Forsythe takes off and Dickerson swings and skies one. Giavotella positioned perfectly, makes the catch. And the Rays are done here in the first. Right to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless. Tush's lineup for the Halos at 13-16 on this season, and Yunel Escobar will lead things off at third base. Daniel Nava in left, Mike Trout at center, Albert Pujols the DH, Cole Calhoun in right, C.J. Cron at first base, Johnny Giavotella in second. Giovanni Soto is behind the plate, and Johnny Giavotella batting, or pardon me, Andrew Simmons batting ninth and playing shortstop as they take on the 26-year-old right-handed native of Highland Hill, Illinois. His name is Jake Odorizzi.
Odorizzi's fastballs 88-92, slider, cut fastball, curveball, changeup. But my keys to be successful against Odorizzi: own the outside corner. He'll throw a lot of pitches on the outer half of the plate, and look for that change piece. He will throw quite a few. About 24% of his pitches or his thing or hybrid changeup, he calls it.
Oh, the old thing.
I thought that was from the Adams family.
Yeah. You are correct, sir. Yunel Escobar, 302 average with 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. And the first one is a little bit high. Yunel 2 for 5 last night with a couple of singles. 9 doubles on the year. This one's fouled back into the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels mentioned 3 games under 500 now with the loss last night. A game under 500 here at home at 6-7. Had some opportunities last night against Chris Archer, who picked up the win. It was into the ball 1 for 11 with men in scoring position. There's Archer, 100th career start last night. 6 innings, 5 hits, 6 strikeouts. Corey Rasmus got the spot start, took the loss. Line back toward the middle, but that's where Forsythe is playing. We're talking about perfect positioning.
Had a good swing by him also.
Yeah. 1 down here, the Rays defensively. Jennings, Kiermaier, and Souza in the outfield. Longoria, Miller, Forsythe, and Morrison around the infield, and Conger behind the dish.
And Hank Conger threw out a base stealer on Sunday for the first time, and after 48 straight steals against him. Always known as one of the best framers of pitches on the outside part of the plate. Has struggled the last couple of seasons as far as thrown out would-be base stealers. So look for the Angels to try to be aggressive against their former teammate.
First one in for a strike on Nava. Second game back off the disabled list. A single and a hit by pitch last night, a 1 for 4 game.
.278 average. It's 5 for 18. Fouls this one back. Now, of course, spent part of last year, 31 games to be exact, with the Rays at .233. 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. He had to deal with knee issues last year. Sample that forced him on the disabled list.
It's the point where he throws his changeup quite a bit, especially when he's ahead of the count against left-handed batters.
The 0-2. Got him with a high fastball, 2 down.
Hyundai key for the game tonight for the Angels to be successful against Odorizzi in particular. A little Bon Jovi, one of my favorite phrases from the song. Shot through the heart. That means using the middle part of the field, especially like I mentioned, a lot of pitches away, a lot of pitches up in the zone. Use the middle part of the field to be successful against Odorizzi and the Rays.
Two outs, bases clear for Trout. And that last pitch to Nava that got him on the punch out, that's kind of what you were talking about. That high, likes to live in the upper part of the strike zone.
And it looks like it's hittable. The upper part of the strike zone at 91, 92, difficult to square up.
1 ball, 1 strike. Trout at .306. 7 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Hitless last night. Did pick up an RBI though, the bases loaded walk. Wasn't a 7th. He lifts one down the right field line, slicing foul. This one's out of play.
Another one of those pitchers with that modified full windup, almost like the stretch. So not a lot of wasted movement for Odorizzi.
One-two pitch. This is line to right, a base hit. So a 2-out single. The Angels have their first base runner of the ball game, and Albert coming up.
Boy, Trout has done so well, especially when he's been behind in the count, and another perfect swing going the other way. For Mike Trout, 93-mile-an-hour fastball, but this time it's a little bit lower in the strike zone. Stay back on it and punch that hard in the right field for a base hit. Great view right there.
Albert with a 1-for-3 game last night, a single and a walk, an average of .202. 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. We'll see if the Angels will test Hank Conger behind the plate.
Odorizzi has allowed 3 stolen bases himself in 4 attempts against him.
Trout doesn't go on the first pitch.
He thought about going, he didn't get a good jump.
Mike, with 2 stolen bases, been caught once. The Angels just have a total of 7 stolen bases on the year, second to last in the American League.
Certainly, if you're Hank Conger, you feel better about your chances because Odorizzi's upstairs with a lot of fastballs. Much easier to catch and throw as a catcher as compared to a guy that's going to throw hard sliders and sinkers lower part of the strike zone.
Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
Oh, just a ton of room on that right side of the infield for Albert.
Two balls, 1 strike.
And a pretty good pitch to drive that way on that one. A fastball, the outer part of the plate. See all that room you have all the way around here for Albert to shoot a ball through that side of the infield. Especially if he throws something away, which he generally will do.
2-1. He tries to pull the outside pitch. They'll go the short way, and they force out Trout, inning over. We'll head to the second with no score. Baseball receive group ticket pricing for as low as $6 per seat. Visit angels.com/groups. Souza, Morrison, and Jennings for the Rays. Weaver allowed a leadoff single, then nothing more. 3 fly ball outs after that first pitch swing to Souza, the right fielder. No balls and a strike. Hitting .253. 6 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Swing and a miss on the off speed.
A real good feel for his changeup early in the game. A lot of times you'll see from Weave, it takes a few innings to get that feel. Usually his curveball is very good early, but his changeup here so far is solid.
One-two pitch. Slow breaking pitch. Got him to chase. That ball bounced up. He found it into the ground and hit him right in the rib cage.
So difficult for a hitter to stay back on a 66-mile-an-hour curveball. See how far out in front he is. Body already turning, hips are already open as he makes contact off the end of the bat.
Off the plate. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver's coming off a start against the Brewers, which with 5 innings, allowed 7 runs, 11 hits, with 92 pitches in that start. What we found.
Slider there. He's already established all 4 of his pitches. 15 pitches into the game.
13th game in his career against the Rays now. 2-2. His career 5-5 with a 3.81 against Tampa Bay. Making his 3rd start at home. Mentioned the good career numbers in this ballpark. This one's grounded to short. Simmons has it. 1 down.
Unbelievable numbers. 45 games over 500 at home for Weaver.
First baseman, number 7, Logan Morrison.
We've had top winning percentages in Major League history at home. Lefty Grove, 167 and 44. That's a 791 winning percentage. Brian Guidry, 99 to 39. 717.
Lefty at Old Yankee Stadium, negating that right field home run porch. Went around. Tony Randazzo rings it up. No balls and a strike on Logan Morrison. Guidry's nickname Gator.
Gator.
In Louisiana.
You talk about a nasty slider. Wow, he had a good one. Not a big guy either. I mean, he created great leverage working downhill with his fastball and especially with his slider.
Changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. Logan Morrison going over to deal with the Seattle Mariners. He's off to a really rough start. 6 for 64, 094 batting average, 2 doubles. No runs batted in. Starting first baseman tonight. Pulls this one foul. So you talk about feel for the off-speed stuff.
Yeah, no question. 21 pitches thrown so far for Weaver, 18 of them strikes. That's a good feel for all your pitches so far.
Morrison last year at 225 for Seattle, 17 home runs and 54 runs batted in.
I still wouldn't even throw a fastball to him right here, especially the all speed's working well against him.
Pulled through the right side with the shift on. Weaver's upset at himself
because he threw a fastball on that one. It was upstairs, but a fastball to a guy right now is having a tough time staying back on all speed. And it kind of drifted out over the plate, but still not that far away from the target you wanted to throw, but he was ready for a fastball. And we know that from Morrison over the years. He can hit a fastball. He has a tough time staying back on slow pitches, whether it's a curveball or changeup, especially with a couple of swings he had in that at bat on changeups.
Yeah, it's one thing if they're out of the front foot. Q1 out for a base hit. Not much you could do on those. See Jennings' numbers. Did not play last night. Breaking ball for strike. Evens a count. Jennings hitting 179. Now 29 years of age. Limited last year to just 28 games. Had a couple of stints on the disabled list last season. Knee issue. Not a hope and promise for Desmond Jennings coming up through the ranks.
Kind of moved Carl Crawford out of that position in left field originally. Real good speed, pretty good power, good defender.
Just never worked out to the expectation.
When he first came up, I thought he was going to be a star in the major leagues. Pretty good power and speed in those 4 straight seasons. Hasn't been healthy since or consistent.
Morrison with a 1-out single. He stands at first. That's out toward left. Nava moving back on it. Drifting onto the warning track now, and he'll make the catch. Morrison was standing near second base. Gets back to first. Angels will take that. Man at first base and 2 outs now.
Just missed that one. It's the upper part of the strike zone off speed. A slider that, well, we talked about it even yesterday. A cement mixer to back up on you as a slider. That becomes very hittable. He just missed that one.
Two outs, man on. Here's Kevin Kiermaier, the center fielder. .234 average with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. 0 for 4 last night. He will look at the strike.
We talked about that cement mixer slider. We talked about sliders with Ron Guidry. Steve Carl, Ron Guidry, the 2 best I've seen from lefties. Dave, Steve, John Smoltz from right-handed pitchers, nasty sliders. It's a very effective pitch, but when you make a mistake with a slider, that's the baseball that goes the furthest out of the ballpark. That hanging slider out over the plate to the barrel of the bat, it ends up going.
Good change up, but it's no balls, 2 strikes on Kiermaier. Kiermaier last night grounding into 2 double plays. First time in 735 games, professional games for Kevin Kiermaier. He's rolled into 2 double plays in the same game. Good speed. Gets down the line quickly.
Anytime you can involve that great throwing arm of Andrelton Simmons in there, you have a better chance of turning a double play, even with the speed of Kiermaier.
Morrison takes off. The 0-2 is rolled foul. Way out in front with that changeup.
In this game, at this point, Weaver's had 4 counts of 0-2. So he's gotten ahead very well. He's throwing a ton of strikes. 25 of the 29 pitches Weaver has thrown today, strikes. Long look in for Soto to see if he get a sign, whether it's a throw over the first step off or a potential pitch out. I say just finish off the hitter right here, especially head 0-2.
Fastball lifted out toward right center. Trout shading it that way is there. Hitting over. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Scoreless. For the Angels. Hey folks, every moment matters. Angels taking on the Rays tomorrow afternoon. It's Mother's Day, and that's a 12:35 start. The first 20,000 adults in attendance will receive a Mother's Day beach tote courtesy of Thermador. Join us on Mother's Day. Go to angels.com/promotions. Odorizzi with a strikeout and a hit allowed in the first inning. Facing Cole Calhoun, hitting .305. Well, 1 for 3 last night and a double and a walk last night. 6th double of the season. There's a couple of home runs, 12 runs batted in. No balls, 2 strikes. Odorizzi on the mound. Mentioned he's 26 years of age. The Rays' streak of consecutive games with a starting pitcher under the age of 30 extends to 264.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That is unbelievable.
Cole fouls it off. Last night it was Chris Sargent, 27-year-old.
Matt Moore next to him, another very good young pitcher. Lefty goes real hard.
One ball, 2 strikes.
And every time ahead of the count, Odorizzi loved to try to ride that fastball upper part of the strike zone or even above it to get you to chase as a hitter.
At times we saw Archer trying to do that last night. Effective for him. 1-2 back up the middle, but with a shift on, Miller will glove that one in a unique manner. One down.
The Rays, as far as number of shifts defensively, 329 coming into the game tonight. We've seen a number of them already, which is fourth most. Miller's able to make that play on a good swing.
Little side saddle snag by Brad Miller.
Just in case it got by him, but it ended up being a hit.
C.J. Cron cuts through the fastball. First pitch. .238 average for C.J. back at first base. Slider down and away. 0 for 4 last night. 3 ground outs and a punch out.
So far we have seen some pretty good swings against Odorizzi. Escobar hit a ball very well up the middle, but Forsythe was there. Calhoun shot up the middle, Miller there, and then Trout hit the ball hard the other way. So that's the approach you're seeing early on for the Angels to try to be successful against them. But at this point, though, the Rays have defended them well.
Halos did not face Odorizzi last year. This is just his 3rd start. The 2 starts in which the Angels have faced Odorizzi. Halos got to him rather well. 12 hits in 8 innings. 4 strikeouts, 5 walks for the right-hander. This is his 7th start. He's just 0-1. Cron fouls it off. Cron fouls it back.
Right-handed batters this year against Odorizzi, 382. Lefties is 217. Not a lot of decisions, obviously. 0-1 with 6 starts so far this year. Pretty good numbers. 3.12 ERA.
Payoff again. Cron fouls this one off again. Odorizzi, a former 1st-round pick, 32nd overall in 2008 by Milwaukee. And when we were there earlier this week, we were talking about that deal because Jeremy Jeffress came over from Kansas City. That was the whole Zach Greinke trade between the Brewers and the Royals. This one's out towards center field, hit all right off the end of the bat. It'll stay in the yard, of course. Kiermaier will put it away for out number 2. And then Odorizzi got moved from Kansas City to Tampa Bay along with Will Myers and a couple of others. And that was the James Shields, Wade Davis trade. Elliott Johnson, also an infielder, going to Kansas City in that deal.
Well, what a difference Wade Davis has made for the Kansas City Royals. James Shields was solid there also.
A couple of years, yeah. But the kicker was Davis because of the length of the deal and the service time. He was able to produce for them. You know, not just along with Shields and then take off there multiple years after the fact. Giavotella lines one out to right. Souza put it away, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Odorizzi. We'll head to the 3rd with no score.
third. And now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia, the bullpen, which has been very good, especially of late. And last night, 6 2/3 scoreless baseball. Last 10 games, 38 1/3. There's 3 earned runs. That's an ERA of 0.70. Batting average against is 192. Bullpen has been very good. It's been used a lot. Weaver like to give him a little bit of a rest tonight. So far, so good for Weaver.
Bullpen ERA, unfortunately for the Angels, while the starters ERA has gone up, the relievers ERA has gone down. Currently at 2.68 for the Angels. And Conger takes a big rip. Comes up empty, and it's no balls and a strike. 9-1-2 for the Rays here in the third. Conger, Forsythe, and Miller. Make a 172 average with 1 RBI. Change of flow. Traded in the offseason by the Astros to the Rays. A 229 last year with the Astros at 11 home runs, 33 runs batted in.
Always a difficult thing for a pitcher to face one of his former battery mates. You always think he knows exactly what you're going to throw. Weaver's changeup so far has been very good, staying with that, avoiding the fastball against Conger.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
A couple former catchers that I faced. Mike McFarland was one guy that caught me a lot. I moved over to Boston. Didn't do real good against him. He was in my mind.
Look at you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Conger pulls this one to the right side, and some poor miscommunication there. As well as poor communication. It's a single for Conger.
And that's one of those fastballs that's down. Looks like there's a chance to make a play, both originally by C.J. Cron and then even Johnny Giavotella, as he hesitated himself, thinking the Cron was going to get. You see that slight hesitation, and then the same thing with Johnny.
If you're breaking to your right as a first baseman,
you go get it.
Go.
Trust your pitcher to be over there. Right. If he's not there, it's his fault.
You're not going to be able to stop and go back to the bag if Johnny comes up with the baseball. His third single allowed by Weaver. 2 through the right side of the infield. Forsythe single to left to lead off the game. Shoots out to right. Cole's there. 1 down. Miller popped down at his first at bat, so he's 0 for 1. Breaking ball, ripped to right. That one hung up a little bit. Conger will stop at second.
Third baseman, number 3, Evan Longoria.
Now here's tonight's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean and Crisp Coors Light. It'll be all-stars from Long Beach State: Weaver, Longoria, Jason Giambi, Steve Traskell, and then Troy Tulowitzki. Traskell's a guy that took a little bit of time in between pitches.
Human rain delay on the mound.
Pretty good pitcher, but certainly took a few minutes between pitches.
Yeah. Read a couple of books with Traxel on the mound and Mike Hargrove at the plate. Longoria pulls it foul. He had a fly ball, more of a line drive to Trout in the first inning. Two on, 1 out. fly ball pitcher. That's what Weaver is, but looking for that off-speed pitch that maybe gets Longoria to roll over on.
It's a big moment in the game here too for Weaver. Good slider. Longoria is 6 for 21 in his career versus Weaver. A lot of strikes so far for Weave. 34 strikes and 41 pitches.
Off speed, hook foul.
Good conversation between Soto and Weaver. I think by design that changeup was supposed to be on the outer part of the plate. Inner half, a dangerous spot against Longoria.
Breaking pitch, missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm just reflecting back on all those good baseball players out of Long Beach State. They've had a ton of players come through there, very successful in the major leagues.
Full count. First 3 ball, first full count for Jared. Runners take off. 3-2 is fouled back.
Throw him a slider. Generally, if you're going all speed, a 2-2 pitcher come back with something all speed. 3-2.
Conger close to the bag. Runners again go. Longoria skies one out the left field. Nava racing back, as is job of Daniel Nava onto the track, making the catch. 2 down.
Great part of the yard. Keep it in the ballpark. Went a fastball there, 86-mile-an-hour fastball. But again, down in the strike zone with Weaver's fastball, in my opinion, becomes a more hittable pitch. Upstairs, it's very deceptive. Lower part of the zone, he got that barrel of the bat on it and almost got that out right to that wall. It's the 390 sign. But a big out for Weaver.
So Conger still at second, Miller at first. Quick conversation with Soto. Dickerson popped out to Giavotella in the first. He's 0 for 1. Breaking pitch, caught the inside corner. We were a much more deliberate approach tonight than what we've ever seen him.
Yeah, he's really slowing things down, even his delivery.
No balls, 2 strikes, and they're. That thumb guard that we were talking about the other day in Milwaukee went flying off the hand as Dickerson completed that swing.
So he's got a slow curveball and a changeup. See, so far out in front. Thumb guard goes flying off, the hips flying open, the head moving. You have to stay off speed. You can bounce something now, bounce it away.
Oh, 2. Got him swinging. Down goes Dickerson. Mystified at that changeup. Went to the bottom of third. No score.
Albert Pujols to say, I have the base there for you. He always would say, especially with a left-handed batter up there, go get the baseball, I will be there for you. And this ground ball by Hank Conger should be and end up being a routine out. You see how Weaver's breaking towards first. He always communicates with the first baseman to tell him exactly where he is going to be, how much coverage he has on that side of the infield, and allowing the first baseman to play a little bit deeper to field a ball like that.
8-1 for the Angels. Giovanni Soto leading things off. He will look at the strike. Soto at .316 average, 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Soto hits one out to left field. Going back on it is Jennings, and he'll make the catch at the wall. 1 down. A lot of near misses.
I'll tell you what, the Angels only have 1 hit against Odorizzi so far, but they've squared up a number of baseballs.
Ball last night seemed to be carrying. Tonight, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clear night for the most part tonight. Yesterday, cloudy, a little more humid.
Simmons looks at a strike.
Both pitchers really slowing down their delivery to make sure they hit their spots. Both have thrown a lot of strikes between the two of them.
1-1. Anderson dropped to the 9th spot in the order for the first time this season. Snapped it 0 for 21 last night with an RBI single in the 8th. 216. 4 doubles, a home run, and 6 runs batted in. Chopper back over the mound. Forsythe was shading him up the middle. 2 down.
Third baseman, number 6,
So 2 out, bases cleared. Yunel Escobar up. Angels 1 base runner. That was the hit by Trout to right in the first inning. Outside. Big alley in left center field. Kiermaier, the center fielder, playing the opposite way on Escobar. You see him out there in right center.
That's his changeup. Relied a lot on fastballs early on here, but that's a very good changeup he throws.
Yuni almost pointing out to Odorizzi, kind of the tip of the cap. A pretty good pitch right there. That swing and miss. Upstairs, 2-1. Now a ground ball to Forsythe in the first. Outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Escobar, a little 6-game hitting streak for him. 3-1 on the way. And there's ball 4. 2-out walk. First one issued by Odorizzi. Bring up Daniel.
Left fielder, number 25, Daniel Nava.
11th walk of the year for Escobar. Trout, team leader, with 16. Nava struck out in the first on a high fastball. The only punch out that Odorizzi's picked up.
And Nava is 1 for 11 in his career versus Odorizzi, but that one hit, a big fly.
First pitch changeup. Nice night. Oh, it's dark clouds all afternoon around here.
A little rain on my way down, driving down today. Still a little bit of unstable air around.
That's what they call it.
Yes, a cutoff low, they say.
68 degrees at first pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Escobar, short lead over at first. Nava lays off. They wanted appealing, didn't go. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. It's a nice night for fireworks after the game.
Yes.
That's how toward left. Hit very well. Jennings moving back on it, and he'll make the catch as he backpedals onto the track. We've said that a couple of times already tonight. 3 in the books. No score. device, just go to your app store, download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Angels wherever you go. No score, top of the fourth. Jared Weaver, multiple base runners on board in the third with a 1 out, got out of it. Fly ball to left and a strikeout. Strikeout of Dickerson, the one and only for Weaver tonight.
Weaver with just 15 strikeouts this season with over 30 innings pitched. The evolution of Weaver at this point in his career, all about getting outs. That's all that matters. Whether it's a strikeout or a pop-up. He's thrown now 51 pitches, 42 strikes. Faced 14 batters, 12 first pitch strikes for Weaver tonight. Very much under control in his mechanics, also very deliberate.
Called strike 3. Gets the call, and it's the first out here in the fourth.
Souza Jr. saying, no, that's not a strike, but it was a fastball. 82-mile-an-hour fastball after a couple off speed. Soto setting up inside, didn't move the target at all, and gets the call. That's what we talk about when catchers get some pitches called for their pitchers. That's exactly what happened in that one with Soto. Kept his glove there, didn't move it, gave the illusion that it was in the strike zone.
Morrison with a base hit in the second inning.
It was on a fastball too. You see that swing on a slow curveball. Was this 2 for 13 prior to that bat, now 3 for 14 in his career versus Weaver.
Check swing roller toward third. Escobar has it. 2 down. That's going to bring up Desmond Jennings. 10 consecutive strikes for Jared.
So often you talk, when a pitcher has a great game, you just talk about how well the pitcher has thrown the ball, but you also got to give a lot of credit to the catcher. That was a nice job by Soto. Freeman wanted that pitch upstairs, wanted to make sure that Weaver didn't miss that pitch and go over the middle part of the plate. He wanted that inside, set the target there, just like he got the strike called the pitch before. Giovanni Soto's done a very good job behind the plate. See those hands so quiet, how he catches it, frames it.
Slider missing down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jennings. Hit one to the wall in left field in his first at bat.
One of the few changeups that got away from Weaver in this game at this point.
Fastball fouled off. Two now. Off speed low. Jennings got a good read out of the hand on that one.
He was late on that fastball. The pitch before was an 84-mile-an-hour fastball. He seems to be sitting off speed here.
And he goes down swinging. A 1-2-3 inning for Jared Weaver. First of the night. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Still scoreless. loves promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. And by El Pollo Loco. Try the new double chicken salads today. Scoreless as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning. The Angels have the heart of their order coming up here. 3, 4, 5, and trying to solve Jake Odorizzi and the shifts of the Tampa Bay Rays, because they've been positioned absolutely perfectly tonight. The Angels have squared up some baseballs, but just don't have much to show for it other than Trout's single in the 1st inning. That was out to right field. Three infielders on the left with Trout up. Takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Very good batting average when he's been behind in the count. Very comfortable seeing pitches even with 2 strikes. Saw that in Milwaukee, 0-2 pitch hit out of the ballpark. You have a lot of confidence in your ability to read pitches and use the whole field.
Interesting that Odorizzi, as you watch him go through the 3+ innings now, he really, especially right-handed batters, he hasn't thrown anything inside. Everything has been away and up. Oh, kind of slipped on that swing there.
Exactly what I talked about as my go-tos against Odorizzi. You got to hit that ball the outer part of the field, middle part of the field. Break a ball, lost footing on that one, and he tried to crush that curveball a long way. Footing, slip.
Hank back outside, and this one gets Trout, even though it missed location. Trout swings over the top of it. 1 down, 2nd strikeout for the Rays righty.
His fastball, little 2-seamer, ran in. Late movement. See how much that moved as the target set away, and then Conger catches that one off towards the inner part of the plate.
Albert rolled into a fielder's choice in his first at-bat.
Well, you would think this would be a pretty good matchup for Albert, because Odorizzi, a lot of pitches upstairs in the strike zone. Albert's had a tough time with lower strikes this year. It's a pretty good hack. The fastball upper part of the strike zone. Batting average has been hovering around that 100 range on low strikes this season for Albert. Much better on the pitches in the upper part of the strike zone.
This one's out towards center and off the end of the bat. Kiermaier's there. 2 down. Base is clear for Cole. Calhoun 0 for 1. Ground ball to short. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Ground ball, left side. Miller has a strong arm, gets rid of it quickly. Cole is thrown out to end the inning as the Angels go down in order for the books. Still scoreless.
changeup, but a nice job by Giovanni Soto setting that target lower part of the strike zone. Look how much movement that changeup to hit the exact spot where Soto wanted that changeup thrown for ace through that baseball. Weaver has got a great changeup. He's got a very good changeup working throughout this game. A lot of strikes being thrown for Weaver. 60 pitches, no walks with 3 punch-outs so far for Weaver.
Three punch-outs, no walks. 4 hits allowed. Kiermaier showing bunt takes low. Rays center fielder 0 for 1 and a fly ball to Trout in the second. Nice story for Kiermaier. He's turned into a just solid defender, good player in the big leagues, a 31st round pick in 2010. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Talk about a guy who prevents runs. Kiermaier certainly is that guy in center field.
Two-one pitch. That's ripped to right. A leadoff single, and now you really got to pay attention to Kiermaier at first base.
Catcher number 24, Hank Conger.
These are guys that Weaver are very good as far as potentially picking them off. Kiermaier with good speed is going to try to get a bigger lead, anticipating maybe a changeup or curveball thrown to get a better jump. That's when Weaver has the quick footwork to fire it over the first base and get him.
Hank a single in the third, so he's 1 for 1. Good lead for Kiermaier at first base. Doesn't go. Hank a swing and a miss.
Could not stay back on the changeup.
Escobar in off the grass at third base. Throw over to first.
Yeah, he looked like he wanted to go. Soto has thrown out 29% of would-be base stealers this season so far.
Big lead at first. That's the move you like the best, right?
And it's a hold and hold it, and then step off, sell that like you're not going to throw over, and then at some point in this sequence you could do the same thing, step off and then fire quickly over the first base. But hold the baseball slows down a running game.
Kiermaier takes off, pitches upstairs to third, down to second, down to Thomas, stolen base. He had a big jump. 4th stolen base of the year for Kiermaier, and a man in scoring position for the Rays.
And the one thing that Hank Conger did well, and I think when you're watching this game at home at high school level, collegiate level, even professional level, is square around on that bunt. Barely able to keep that foot on that slide in there, easily getting in, but it's a matter of keeping that base connected with your body. It's either your hand or your foot. But Hank Conger just squared around, brought the bat back. That's a slight distraction for a catcher.
Went after that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. .67 pitches for Weaver, 52 strikes. Fantastic ratio, balls to strikes. Strikes to balls, I should say. Top of the order, and Forsythe on deck. So breaking pitch, foul back.
Weaver can use a punch out or a pop up in the infield. Big lead at second base for Kiermaier.
Simmons trying to keep him close. Pick off attempt, and ball squirts away, but not far enough for the base runner to advance.
Weaver spins around quickly, and the quick throw to Simmons, try to get the tag down. All off the glove, but don't go far enough away.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Weaver had a 1-2-3 4th inning. String of 5 straight retired. For Kiermaier opened up the 5th with a single to right. Stole second. Two. Cue shot right side. Kiermaier doesn't advance.
Surprised he didn't go.
No doubt.
That's like a bunt.
Thank you very much. 1 down.
But if you don't read it well as a base runner, you just got to stay there at that point. But a slow roller like that, you're in real good position, especially a pretty good secondary lead. But it seemed like he was going back. See him going back as Weaver's delivering the baseball. Nice job by Simmons, making him aware of that he might go put another pickoff on him. See him going back, and then he not read the ball well. At that point, you have to stay at second. But if certainly a ground ball like that, you can advance rather easily to third base. That's a long throw for Weaver to spin around and throw back to third.
Forsythe looks at a strike. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Single to left, the fly ball to right.
You know what a move would work on Kiermaier is that old Rick Sutcliffe move where you start when you're going home and you have a spin around the front side, spin around and throw to second base. Even though we still believe that should be called a balk, but at this point it's not called one.
Good changeup. No balls, 2 strikes.
Joe Smith will use that move quite a bit also.
Looks uncomfortable when Joe does it.
Yeah.
Looks like it hurts when Joe does it. Because he's so low. I mean, he's got that back leg bent when he comes to that set position. Yeah.
And spins around front side to spin around towards second. Sutcliffe used to work that, especially on a 3-2 count. First and second, they're going. He just do that spin and just turn around and get him. Now he's a guy that would work at a nice leisurely pace himself.
Kiermaier at second base, the 1-2. Kiermaier takes off to throw down to third, low. Dug out by Escobar. Second stolen base of the inning for Kiermaier. He had a big lead at second.
See, if you have that spin around move, you're going to get him because he's trying to time him. Although Weaver may not feel comfortable doing that move, but that's a move that would get him. Kiermaier kept trying to get that good secondary lead and go. Well, Ricky Henderson always said the easiest base to steal really is third base.
Weaver's going to work from the full windup. Infield in. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Foul back. Saw Forsythe there just trying to punch the ball to the right side, it seemed like.
Now when the Angels offense is rolling, On a 0-0 game in the 5th, more likely Soch would probably think about just leaving the infield back. The way Odorizzi's thrown and the way the offense has struggled, he's going to bring the infield in here.
Got him swinging down, goes fourth side, 2 down. Infield will move back to normal depth.
Another changeup that pitched before, goes fastball. Rides that 2-seam fastball in. Unable to make contact. Big punch out, 4 strikeouts. Game for Weaver. Woods ties a season high. He's done that twice so far this year. Now make that the 3rd time he's struck out 4 in a game.
Miller 1 for 2. Breaking ball down and in.
Again, Simmons backing up Weaver. Case the low throw from Soto back to the mound. You see Simmons coming right behind him just in case a wide throw back to Weaver from Soto. It's one of those things you just don't see all that often at the major league level anymore. You always saw it in little league and high school baseball. Always a good decision to have that protection.
2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch will be his 80th. Two balls, 2 strikes. Caught the inside corner with a fastball.
'80 pitches, 60 strikes for Weaver tonight.
Off speed, foul back. Reset and do it again. Popped him up. Left side of the infield, Anderson Simmons calling for it. Weaver continues to bob and weave. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless.
Inning, and Odorizzi likes to throw that high fastball. C.J. Cron very good as far as driving that high fastball, especially the other way. A lot of pitches away. Look for C.J. Cron to be aggressive here on that first pitch as the Angels try to score a run for Jared Weaver, who has been fantastic so far in this game.
Scoreless, bottom of the 5th. Cron, Giamatello, and Soto. Check swing, 1 around. No balls and a strike. CJ, a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. Line back up the middle, leadoff single. And the Angels have just their 3rd base run of the ball game on board to start the 5th.
Stayed back very well on that breaking pitch and hit that ball hard up the middle. Stayed back, good balance. Barrel the bat and line drive right back up the middle for CJ Cron. As soon as you release that baseball, you're about 50, 55 feet away, and a line drive right back up the middle for Cron. Is he able to get the barrel of the bat and good balance? A line drive up the middle.
Johnny, a fly ball to right field in the 2nd. Cron takes off. The hit and run is on, and he bounces the foul.
Got to be aggressive. Pretty good jump too for CJ Cron. Anticipating Giamatello hitting that ball on the ground. Still a lot of room on the right side of the infield too.
Ground ball back toward the middle. Forsythe goes to the backhand. Low throw. Morrison digs it out. His foot was off the base. Safe at first is the call.
And Morrison pointed in Kevin Cash, but it did look like from our angle he did pull his foot off the base.
Call stands. It'll go as an infield base hit for Giamatello.
Pretty good play too, and had to deal with the umpire being in that path to throw the baseball. Well, certainly right there, his foot was up in the air.
They're going to challenge this.
Did he have control at this point? See, the foot is definitely off the base at that point, but did he have control beforehand though? He tries to scoop that one. It's all a matter of, it's all a matter of when that baseball is in the glove as far as controlling that one.
Well, I mean, you can't tell if the foot's connected. Without a camera down the line, you can't tell if the foot's connected to the bag. So
it's a tough one to overturn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's called a hit, which is the most important thing if you're the Angels. Now, if you're the Rays, it's a different story. It's a pretty good angle right here. Well, it still doesn't.
He's off the base.
He's off the base. That's a better angle to see that. Closer.
Yeah, he's off the base.
Yeah, he's off.
Well,
it still looks like he's off the base.
Yeah.
It's close enough. It's going to be difficult to overturn it.
Kevin Cash using the challenge here. Meanwhile, Odorizzi takes the occasional warm-up pitch, trying to stay loose. If the call stands or is confirmed, it'll be the first time tonight the Angels have had multiple base runners on board.
There's certainly enough there to say that he was off the base. Mike Scioscia will have an interesting decision to make if it's first and second, no outs. With Soto coming up, followed by Anderson Simmons. I think he let Soto swing the bat. Pretty good play though by Forsythe to be able to make that a close play.
Well, the Rays lose the challenge. It's Kevin Cash's reaction. Call stands. Call stands meaning not enough evidence to overturn it.
That's what we were thinking.
So Soto will bow with a couple of men on and nobody out. Giovanni drove one out to the warning track at left field, leading off the third, so he's 0 for 1. Gorian to talk things over with Odorizzi. Evan will play in, as will Logan Morrison, the first baseman. And Simmons is the man on deck. Showing bunt, takes low. Third base side. Odorizzi looked around, goes to first. Forsythe may have gotten clipped. He was kind of slow to react there, getting out of the way after he caught that ball.
And he also might have had a shot, I think, at third base because he's a pretty good athlete. He played basketball, football, and baseball in high school, Odorizzi. But he's pointing right at third. There's a play there. There's no doubt there's a play there at third base. And Hank Conger was quick to point that way. The Angels will take it. Now 2 men in scoring position. And then the throw towards the runner, which is always difficult, and then step and then collides with Forsythe with Soto going down the line. And one of those casual throws that you run it and throw it towards the runner going down the line.
Infield in for the Rays. 1 out, runners at second and third. Simmons lines one to left, a base hit. Cron will come in to score. Giovitella, he's going to be waved in. The throw from Jennings cut off. 2-0 Halos. Simmons with RBIs 7 and 8.
Looked like it was a changeup. And Simmons very quick with the swing to shorten it up. Compact swing for Anderson Simmons. Comes through with a big at bat here. Well, that drifted back out the inner half of the plate. Simmons able to make good contact with the infield in. Lines that into left field, and no hesitation by Ron Renneke to send Giovitella, who got a good jump on that base hit in the left field, to score the second run of this inning.
Yunel Escobar to plate 0 for 1 with a walk.
And now's an opportunity for Simmons to try to steal a base. Or at the very least a hit and run again. All started with that good swing by C.J. Cron to start the inning.
Fastball. Caught the corner for strike. Ground ball back to the mound. Odorizzi goes to Forsythe for 1. And Morrison comes off the bag but applies the tag. That's an inning-ending double play. But the Angels get a couple of runs. We'll head to the 6th inning. Halos lead at 2-0.
This is brought to you by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org.
Halos up 2-0 as we begin the 6th inning. 3-4-5 coming up for the Rays. I want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the account and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Longoria with a couple of fly ball outs against Jared Weaver.
Good slider first pitch from Weaver.
The old double hit there. Eh? Shot it back toward the net. No balls and strikes. It only counts as 1 strike.
I think they should change that rule.
I agree. Borderline pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Longoria, Dickerson, and Souza for the Rays here in the 6th inning. 84 pitches for Weave. 4 punch outs, no walks. 5 hits allowed.
Oh, tried to stay back on that slow curveball. Almost fell down. .69-mile-an-hour curveball. Longoria out in front. Down to that one knee. Beltre, who had 2 home runs today for the Texas Rangers.
And he goes down swinging. Longoria may have hit Soto on the follow through. 1 down.
Really had a tough time staying back in that entire at bat. The curveball from Weaver. This went a high breaking ball. You see that as a hitter, but look how far out in front. His already follow through, and then he hits the shoulder and face mask. Giovanni Soto.
Weaver struck out 5 of the last 9.
Season high as far as punch outs for Weaver tonight.
Upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes on Dickerson. The DH popped out and is struck out. Three no. Strike. Ground ball, right side. High flip. Weaver gets a foot. Nope, he does not. They went to the underhand flip, and it was a high one. So Dickerson will reach. It's an error on Crone.
And this time he goes after it, almost like exactly what Weaver told him to do. You see right there, unable to get to the base with the high throw. All you do is hope that Weaver's okay. Jump up. See if he ends up turning that ankle. A little bit of discomfort potentially on his left ankle.
That's all this team needs is for Jared to deal with something here. Injury bug is certainly bit in that rotation. Angels will get Malley going in the bullpen.
Malley getting warm quickly. You see Charles Nagy noticing, the bench noticing that was a difficult play, especially when you're going to jump that high as Weaver. Trying to step on the base. Then in with the right foot, but then the left foot. A lot of weight being put on.
Breaking pitch a little bit high. Souza 0 for 2. A ground down and a strikeout looking. Short lead at first base for Dickerson. Miss low. Stretching that leg out a little bit after delivering that pitch. Two 0. 3 balls, no strikes.
Even if Souza Jr. walks here or gets on base, I think Mike Scioscia may indeed go to the bullpen.
Logan Morrison is on deck, left-handed batter. A shame too, because it should be 2 outs with nobody on. Trying to get through the 6th. 3-0. There's a strike.
You got to be careful though with Souza Jr. He's got real good power. You gotta make sure you make a good pitch. I think that's a quick conversation that Soto's going to go out and talk to Weaver, try to get him through this, maybe get an off-speed pitch, get a ground ball, and an infielder get through with 2 outs on 1 swing.
Yeah, I think this meeting of Soto and Weaver is to allow Bedrosian to get loose as well. If you've got Morrison on deck, Cash could pinch hit for him. You'd have the righty to counter whatever right-hander if Cash decides to go to the bullpen.
Seems like Scioscia looking on along with Rick Smith. Trainer been around for quite a while with the Angels.
.95 pitches for the veteran. 3-1. Souza takes a strike. Full count. Over the top part of the zone. Sorry,
that's exactly what we said. He has to be successful. That upper part of the strike zone. Slider up there.
Kevin Cash barking from the dugout.
It clearly gets the upper part of the strike zone. Look at our Fox tracks.
Both guys ready to go in the bullpen for the Angels if Mike Scioscia decides to make a move. Dickerson takes off 3-2, a skied foul.
It was a hanging curveball.
There's tonight's surprise section of the night.
No question. We would love to get that old strike him out, throw him out to finish off this inning.
Dickerson to get on the move. This one's out toward left. Towering shot, hit well. Nava drifting back, still going back, and this one's into the bullpen. Steven Souza Jr. a 2-run blast, his 7th of the season, ties this game up at 2.
It's a slider that stayed on the inner half of the plate. And a team that relies on the home run ball to score runs does it again. And anytime you see a catcher reaching back, all you can hope for is that baseball to be caught by Nava going over the wall.
So the Rays answer back. 2-2 game here in the 6th inning. Morrison 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Oh, 2. "37th home run the Rays have hit. They're 19th in the last 11 games. Morrison takes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Desmond Jennings on deck. Popped up left side. Escobar moving toward the foul line. Will stay in fair territory to make the grab. 2 down.
Left fielder, number 8, Desmond Jennings.
So base is clear for Jennings. 0 for 2 on the evening. A fly ball to left and a strikeout. Over to third. Escobar's got it. And that'll do it for the Rays, but they do tie it up on the Steven Souza Jr. home run. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 tie with Nava, Trout, and Pujols coming up.
Showing why he's one of the best center fielders in the game. Full extension on the dive. Pilar, another amazing play out in the outfield. Pilar played against Stan, like in the old Mission League games, by the way.
Yeah. That Stan home run landed in Hialeah.
That thing was unbelievable.
Stopped on the corner, had a little cafecito, pastelito, and then went on to Fort Lauderdale. Wow. That thing was crushed.
Oh. Hey, if you're going to give up a home run, you know, that's one of those ones you go, you know what, hey, I generated all the power.
Don't you tuck your glove underneath your arm and just clap as he rounds the bases?
490
Seriously.
feet.
Hey, as long as he hits it somewhere other than back up the middle. Nava fouls off the first pitch.
That's all you're hoping
for. About.
Yes.
Pitch him in so he doesn't hit it up the middle.
Exactly.
Daniel Nava 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a fly ball to the left. His last at bat. You kind of go back to that 5th inning, the bottom of the 5th inning. Just playing devil's advocate, especially considering the way the struggles of this Angels offense continues to kind of stand out. With Simmons on first base at 1 out. The Angels opting to not start him. The Angels lead baseball in double plays. Escobar eventually hits into an inning-ending double play. It stays a 2-0 lead. You don't know what could happen if the inning continues. They haven't run on Conger tonight. Just playing that devil's advocate. Angels need to start doing things like that, considering the way the pitching has been going, the starting pitching has been going, and the offense unable to really get anything or find anything to be consistent with.
Well, they started the C.J. Cron that time after his base hit up the middle with Giavatella up there, so you just got to continue that pattern. You got to force the issue.
It's a team that has not run all year. Drilled out to center. Kiermaier back a couple of steps, puts it away for the first out. Well struck by Nava. We've said that a couple of times tonight against Odorizzi.
Quite a few times.
Yeah.
The Hyundai key for this game, and on cue, especially with that shot right there. Shot through the heart. A lot of line drives back up the middle, including C.J. Cron last inning to start it off, and Mike Trout shot one hard into right center field. His first at bat. By the way, speaking of home runs, Bartolo Colon hit a home run today off James Shields down in San Diego.
Changeup?
Doesn't matter what it is for Bartolo Colon to go yard.
A lot of guys complaining when that ballpark opened as far as the fences.
Bart said, nah, it's a good hitter's yard.
Trout is 1 for 2, a single in the first, a strikeout of the fourth. Up and away.
That was the first home run in his career for Bartolo Colon.
Line out toward left center. It'll get down for a hit. Trout is on board with his second knock of the evening.
You got to believe he's going to be on the move here. That base hit up the middle. Yeah, just 5 hits on the board. A lot of baseballs hit extremely hard tonight. Best way to negate that is have some movement. Force the defenders to get out of their comfortable positions. They've made some nice plays defensively so far. Love to see the offense respond after the Rays tying up the game, and Weaver's throwing the ball so well, just be able to get a lead here for him.
Albert 0 for 2, a fielder's choice and a fly ball to center. Odorizzi just at 77 pitches, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and now 5 hits allowed.
Almost an unofficial pitch out.
Yeah, the old modified pitch out. Low throw. I wonder if that got Trout or Morris had knocked it down.
Looked like it hit Trout. Off the glove and deflected off the body. As we're hoping for there is there's no stepping on by Morrison on the hand of Trout as he dives back. Good lead.
Trout still standing at first.
Boy, for Albert, Odorizzi throws something away. Just shoot that ball to right field. It's going away.
Foul tipped into the mitt. One down. Pardon me, two down.
A fastball away. Foul tip, and Conger able to hold on to it.
So Cole Calhoun coming up. And he throws that one away. Trout will get to second base. They got there somehow. Angels have a man in scoring position.
This time trying to be quicker. He's been holding the baseball long. Wasn't a bad throw either.
Now they just called it an error on Odorizzi. That should be an error on Morrison. That's a whiff.
And it kind of surprised him too. He was holding the baseball before throwing over. He's quick. That was a pretty good throw.
Upstairs for ball one. Cole twice is grounded out to the shortstop Miller. Tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Away.
I think what you're seeing here from Odorizzi, and I think they're in a quick conversation. Now, don't give in to Cole Calhoun. They might even go ahead and walk him, or at least have the talk. Who do you feel comfortable throwing to? You want to go after Cole Calhoun, who has been very good with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, or you go after C.J. Cron, just a line drive back up the middle. The at bat before.
Conger standing up. Almost looked as if he was going to ask for the free pass here. It's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs and a man at second. That's Trout. Down low.
The funniest conversation you have with a pitcher coach when he comes out, he says, they'll say, don't give him anything good to hit. I go, pretty sure I try to do that every pitch.
Right.
No, I was thinking about grooving one right down the middle of the plate, see how far he can hit it. Cole's going to get the green light here if he does get a fastball. Oh, a changeup.
Yeah.
That hybrid split-fingered changeup he throws.
Let it fly. Full count.
Now you shorten up your swing.
Jennings at left, Kiermaier in center, both playing shallow. Souza straight up and right.
Cole 7 for 14 in these spots so far this season. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. The right guy up in this spot.
Calvert Bates full at 3-2. Trout with a single. And he went to second base on a throwing error. Charge to Odorizzi. That was with 2 outs. Cole trying to snap this 2-2 tie. Crone on deck. Starting to get some movement now in the Rays at bullpen. Odorizzi at 87 pitches. Payoff once again. Cole strikes out on a high fastball, inning over. 6 complete, still tied at 2. Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Tied at 2 as we begin the 7th here at the Big A. Jared Weaver no longer in the ballgame. The Angels go to the bullpen. Greg Malley takes over on the mound for the Halos. Weaver had 5 strikeouts and no walks. But he did work 6 innings tonight. It's the first time an Angel starting pitcher has done that in the last 9 games. So in and out, who's in, who's out. Mr. Malley, the youngster, on in relief. He is 1-0 with a 2.16 ERA. This will be his 12th big league game. 8 1/3 innings. 6 strikeouts and 5 walks. The Rays here in the 7th have Kiermaier, Conger, and Forsythe due up.
That good angle he throws that. He will throw that fastball and break a ball from that exact same angle, and also throw a changeup, especially to right-handed batters.
Kurt Casale has come out to the on deck circle. He would pinch hit for Hank, right-handed batter. He'll take over behind the plate. Kiermaier looks at a strike.
Good breaking ball to start with there from Mahle.
Oh, 2. Kiermaier 1 for 2. Single back in the 5th inning. Had 2 stolen bases, but was stranded at 3rd. Check swing foul.
I think now he's set up for a slider going off the plate. Knob out in left field. You got to be ready to come in on the baseball in case he tries to flare it out to left.
Up and away. You can watch as much video as you want on Mahle, but until you get in the batter's box and experience it, especially as a left-handed batter, tough to gauge what it's going to look like. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kiermaier goes down swinging, 1 out.
That was a pitch a couple pitches ago you would think he could have went to right away. Ends up eventually striking him out. Good slider. 3 different arm angles in that one at bat against Kiermaier. For Mahle.
There's Casale behind the plate last night. They're going 1 for 4. Takes over for Conger here in the 7th. Yes, he did.
He was guessing fastball first pitch. You can tell by that swing. There's a changeup from Mahle. He will throw to right-handed batters.
Down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sky to center. Two down. Top of the order coming up now, Logan Forsythe. Forsythe, a single in the 1st, a fly to right in the 3rd, a strikeout in the 5th.
Big pitch here from Mahle. You want to make sure your Forsythe to hit the ball to the big part of the yard. Miss on the inner half of the plate.
That's a strike, but not called a strike. It's 3-0.
You got a lot of the strike zone.
That's right down the pipe. There's a little chappy fastball from over the top. 3-1.
Yeah, 91 on that one. He's giving us a number of different arm angles in this inning. And from a changeup from that arm angle.
Gray's trained in Florida, so no real shot to have seen Mahle, unless some of these guys had some minor league experience against him. It's kind of a guess. Which arm angle?
That's what makes it difficult. As a hitter, you're trying to read the baseball out of the pitcher's hand, but when you got all these different angles, it's tough to be able to read that and then read along what pitch is being thrown.
3-2, chopper towards short. Simmons has it. 1-2-3 inning for Greg Malley. Stretch time at the Big A. Crow, Giavatello, Soto coming up. It's a 2-2 game.
Time now for the T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Some big games today in the majors. Texas beating the Tigers, even though they were up at 1 point. The Tigers, 2 home runs for Beltre as the Rangers win that one 10-5. Kansas City, who had been struggling, wins that one 7-0. Kendrys Morales with an early 3-run home run in Kennedy, 7 scoreless innings. And the Cubs win again. The Cubs win again. They beat the Nationals 8-5. Chris Bryant, home run today, is 5th of the season.
White Sox won as well, didn't they? Chris Sale, 7-0.
A lot of W's in Chicago.
Man. Erasmo Ramirez takes over on the mound for Jake Odorizzi. He's 5-1 with a 1.42 ERA. This should be his 14th game. He pitched last night for a total of 11 pitches. C.J. Cron, the first one a breaking ball. It's 1 ball to a strike. C.J. 1 for 2, a single, and a run scored in the 5th. Cron pulls one pass line going to left. It's a leadoff single.
Couple good at bats in a row. C.J. Cron. Stay back in that one. Well, not easy to get it by Longoria at third base. Works very hard at that third base position. I think in terms of maybe squaring around and bunting here for Giavatello.
Kirk Casale, by the way, stays in the game. He's behind the plate. Johnny drops a bunt. Erasmo. Well, that was a changeup over to first because Forsythe wasn't quite to the base. And he looked over there and all of a sudden saw an empty base, but he threw a strike and Forsythe's able to record the out.
And that's your job when you feel the ball just throw to the base. It's up to the defender to be there, but you can see how far Forsythe has to go. He's playing towards the middle. He's trying to find that base. He finally does so, and the sacrifice bunt perfectly done by Giavatello. He gets some high fives in the dugout. Romero gets that baseball and throws it over to first.
Popped him up. Shallow right. Morrison drifting out. First baseman backpedaling now and two-step. Makes the catch. Round number 2.
A lot of pop-ups and ground balls off of Ramirez. But the lowest line drive percentage is 12.9%. Baseballs hit off of Ramirez are line drives.
Upstairs. Andrelton Simmons 1 for 2, had a 2 RBI single in the 5th.
Might as well get that 3rd RBI right here.
Overthrown, gets by Casale. Crone over to 3rd.
Boy, as a catcher, you really have no chance at this one. This got to hope it hits your body. This is thrown well out of the strike zone by Ramirez. This is changeup look like. And almost in the left-handed batter's box. And well out in front of the plate.
Two-0. Watch out. Ran that fastball up and in.
Well, he dropped the wrist as far as that two-seam fastball, runs it well off the inside corner now. A wide fastball in, a wide changeup away.
Top of the order, and Escobar on deck. And there's ball 4. So runners at the corners now. Jim Hickey's coming out. Stay tuned later tonight on the post-game show for the business of sports, brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Scion Buena Park.
Probably a quick reminder that Ramirez know that Escobar will be looking first pitch fastball. If you're going to throw it, you better make sure you locate it well.
Yanel is 0 for 2 with a ground down, a walk, and a double play ball. 7th double play that he's hit into this year, and that was in the 5th. An opportunity to put the Angels back in the lead. It's a 2-2 game here in the 7th. First pitch swinging and a bouncer to Forsythe. Inning over. 7 complete. Still tied at 2.
7 innings, we are all tied at 2 between the Halos and Tampa Bay Rays. Welcome back outside the Big A, and don't forget, after the game, it's Angels Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. With all the injuries to the starting rotation, Angels looking for a great outing tonight, and they got it from Jared Weaver. 6 innings, giving up just 2 runs and striking out a season-high 5. We'll break down his performance tonight. Also look ahead to tomorrow's series finale. But right now, let's send it inside to Mark and Victor.
Nice a lot, Frenchie, and Greg Mally's back out on the bump here to start the 8th inning. We've got a left-handed batter, Miller. Longoria on deck, then Dickerson after that. Campodrosian's ready to go in the bullpen. If and when Mike Scioscia deems it necessary, as the first pitch is in for a strike. Malley with a 1-2-3-7, including a strikeout. Miller, the shortstop, 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. Both teams with 6 hits tonight.
Miller with 5 hits in this series. Been struggling hitting coming into this series.
One and 2. Got that one off the end of the bat, fouls it off.
And the only way he fouls that pitch off is if it's elevated. It was a little bit elevated, even though it was off the plate. The right pitch from Malley, slider. Now you can go a little bit lower off the outside corner to get a swing and miss.
That's a called strike 3. 1 down. Here comes Scioscia. So perfect outing for Greg Malley with the right hand hitting Evan Longoria coming up. Malley sees 4 batters, gets all 4. Pitching change. We're in the 8th of a 2-2 game. Honda's probable starters. Matt Andrews will make his 2016 debut, 3-5 a season ago. Nick Tropiano is on the mound for the Angels. His last start, erratic to say the least. I mean, a lot of command issues. It lasted 5 innings, ended up giving 5 earned runs.
And Andrews from UC Riverside, close by from Redlands.
Campodrosian takes over here with 1 out, the bases clear. Camp pitched last night for a total of 13 pitches. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout for the right-hander. He's got Longoria, the righty. Dickerson, the left-hand hitting DH, is on deck. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Oh for 3 tonight is the Rays' third baseman. Jared Weaver got the start, went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits. Steven Souza Jr. a 2-run home run in the 6th inning on a 3-2 pitch, tying this game up. Error by Crone preceded that home run. Jake Odorizzi, his 7th start of the season, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. His 6 innings of work. Struck out 4 and walked 1. Weaver had 5 strikeouts, no walks.
Weaver threw the ball very, very well tonight.
Ton of strikes.
75 strikes, 103 pitches. It's an outstanding ratio.
Two. Fastball just missed low. Full count. Dickerson on deck. Breaking pitch, line to left. Nava makes the catch, 2 down. Every fan matters, and the Angels take on the Orioles Friday, May 20th at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a commemorative trout wall catch figurine courtesy of Cox Communications. While supplies last, visit angels.com/promotions to get your tickets today.
That was an unbelievable play.
I'm sure the Orioles appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that was against Montero as a member of the Mariners.
But they remember the plays he made in Baltimore at Camden Yards. With Weaver on the mound, J.J. Hardy hit that ball.
Dickerson 0 for 3.
Life in the fastball from Droz. We've seen 3 times in a row out of the bullpen. Velocity has been good, 94 to 96, but his breaking pitch has been excellent. You need that pitch against Dickerson, who likes to hit the fastball.
One. 2 balls, 1 strike. Halos at the bottom of the 8th inning have Nava, Trout, and Pujols coming up. No action in the Rays' pen, so you figure Ramirez will come back out. Pitch to scoreless 7th. Breaking ball again, 2-2. Fastball, got him looking, down goes Dickerson in a 1-2-3 inning for the Angels. We'll head to the bottom of the frame, still tied at 2. 6 hits, but multi-hit games for both Trout and C.J. Cron. Trout is due up second here in the 8th inning. Nava will lead things off, then Albert. And if things continue, Cole Calhoun. 2-2 game. Erasmo Ramirez back out on the bump. That's a sweet dude, that kid.
No question.
Important, I should say. Nava takes outside. 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a couple of fly ball outs.
One thing so far this season for Ramirez, he's been around the strike zone. The highest percentage of strikes thrown at 68.6%. Been around the zone, but so far in this at bat has not been.
Two balls, one strike. Follow Angels Baseball live with MLB.com at bat. App stayed up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and or tablet. Because you got to have it on both.
Yes.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And around the strike zone consistently. Maybe 69% of his pitches are strikes.
Nava strikes out swinging for out #1.
That good changeup from Ramirez. Well at front after a number of fastballs, up in a 78-mile-an-hour changeup. See if Trout's ready to jump on a first pitch.
Just missed inside. Casale wanted the corner, didn't get it.
Good numbers for Trout against Ramirez in his career. 375, including a home run.
2 balls, no strikes. Mike 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a punch out.
3-0 count. I got to believe green light. Trout doesn't do that too often, swing on the green light. Well, the outfielders are almost playing on the warning track. And he does go hacking at a 3-0 pitch, but it's something out of the strike zone. Although something down is always in the zone for Trout. Just a little bit too low on that one. 3-0.
3-1 pitch. Trout fouls it off, full count.
You would not be surprised if Ramirez throws a changeup to Trout here.
Ground ball to Longoria. 2 down. So Albert's coming up with the bases clear. Joe Smith loosening in the Angels bullpen. He will pitch in the 9th. Souza, Morrison, and Jennings are the scheduled 3 batters for Tampa Bay. Rays picked up the opening game of the series last night by the final of 5-2. The Angels took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th tonight. Anderson Simmons with a 2 RBI single. Well, you see the Rays tied in the top of the 6th on a home run. Albert tonight 0 for 3.
And all three batters in this inning behind the count. Ramirez has been 2-0. That fastball well in. Saw that against Simmons last inning.
Broken bat, roller to short. Halos go down quietly here in the 8th. We will head to the 9th. Still tied at 2. Knockout Masters finally meet in the octagon when Alistair Overeem takes on Andre Arlovsky. Plus, it's a battle of the giants between Bigfoot and Struve. It all starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning only on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Top of the 9th here at the Big A. It is a 2-2 game. Joe Smith takes over for Cam Bedrosian to work 2/3 of an inning. Picked up a strikeout. Joe working his 15th game, 0-1. 3.60 ERA, 2 saves. Pitched Wednesday in Milwaukee. That was the one and only win for the Angels against the Brewers. He threw 28 pitches on Wednesday.
He's really had a good feel for that 2-seam fastball. Slider's been good. Changeup getting more and more consistent also for Joe. His 14th game against the Rays. Been very, very good against them. ERA at 0.
Souza, Morrison, and Jennings, the scheduled batters for the Rays. Steven Souza Jr. 1 for 3. Ground out a strikeout, a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. That was off Weaver. For Souza, it was his 7th of the season. First one down low. Two balls, no strikes. Now it caught the corner.
A good spot, especially behind in the count 2-0 to a good fastball hitter. Paints the outside corner.
Two on. Ground ball to the right side, and that'll beat the shift. Givatello is playing on the shortstop side, so the leadoff man on board for the Rays.
Inside out swing on that one. Wins that two-seamer inside. He's trying to punch that ball to the right side of the infield with a shift on. No one over there in that position to field that ground ball. Routine ground ball ends up being a hit.
There's Logan Morrison. 1 for 3 as he had a single back in the second. And he takes downstairs.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Pick off. Souza back easily.
One stolen base on the season.
Logan Morrison 1 for 2 in his career against Joe. One ball, one strike.
Morrison has rolled into one double play. Joe Smith very good as far as getting the ground ball double play.
The Rays have only grounded into 12 double plays this year. Morrison is hit into 1. Just for comparison's sake, the Angels came in leading baseball with 31. They've got one tonight, so 32 times this year. But you're right, Joe's the guy that would be the guy to induce one, that's for sure.
Well, the Angels are a team that's made a lot of contact, a few amount of strikeouts, and the Rays are a team that has struck out quite a bit. And they've also hit a lot of big flies, though.
Desmond Jennings on deck.
Closer that time. Just got his hand in. Go to that back part of the base, a longer tag for the first baseman.
Pitch out, Souza caught in a rundown. The Angels gets right in the throw, hits him in the back. He's going to try to get to second. He will get there.
Well, he guessed right on a 2-1 count, Mike Scioscia. Good call on that one. Have Souza in a potential rundown and out. And that's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Perfect call. But then the throw in the back. And Souza goes back to first base, deflected off him in a way, and then he advances to second. He stops, quickly tries to go back to the base, but hits him right on the shoulder. And away from C.J. Cron, allowing Souza Jr. to advance to second base.
Error on Simmons, his third of the season. Man in scoring position, nobody out here in the ninth. A 3-1 count, too, on Morrison. Desmond Jennings is on deck. Slider misses inside, and it's ball 4.
I believe it's going to be a sacrifice bunt attempt right here. Granted, we talked about it earlier, only one. And the Rays coming in to this game. Scioscia guessed right. The execution not there, though.
Yeah, Kirk Casale, the catcher, is the guy that owns the lone sacrifice bunt for the Rays this year.
Jennings with good speed too. There's a discussion on the defense. We talked about Joe Smith having that spin around move, the front side spin around move. You hear that spaghetti move to second base. He may use this one here coming up.
Souza at second, Morrison at first. Tied at 2 for the ninth. Nobody out. Crone playing way in on the grass at first base. Escobar cheating in now at third base. And a bunt toward first. Crone's got it. Fires to third. It's a low throw. They get the 4 shot.
Good play
One
though.
away.
Aggressive play, knowing you have to get that play at third. Quick throw by C.J. Crone, a little low, but a good play by the former shortstop. And Escobar playing third base. Bunted pretty firmly by Jennings, but a perfect quick move as far as getting to the baseball, but a low throw by C.J. Crone. Spins around and then the low throw. Able to get that foot on the base for the force out, a huge out.
Mistake by Jennings. You want the third baseman in that situation to pick up the ball.
All you're trying to do.
Angels will certainly take it. So first and second, Morrison now at second, Jennings at first. Kevin Kiermaier at the plate. He swings and misses on a slider. He was guessing first pitch fastball, gets the breaking ball instead. Kiermaier 0 for 2 in his career against Joe Smith. No balls, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball toward short. Simmons comes charging in, fires a second for 1. It's the only out they're going to get with Kiermaier's speed. Morrison ends up at third base. 2 outs now. And the catcher Casale coming up. Figure that Kiermaier will be on the move, right?
Yeah, try to even potentially draw a throw to second base.
Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Angels have Calhoun, Crone, and Giavotella coming up. Jesus Colome is loosening, but he'd only come on, and you would think the Rays score here. Otherwise, probably Rosmer Ramirez. He's coming off a 1-2-3 8th inning. He's gone 2 innings so far tonight. Casale takes a slider outside. First time the Rays catcher has faced Joe Smith in his career.
I think with Ramirez too, he can give him innings. He's been a starter throughout his career, so he can give him some length out of the bullpen.
One. Missed low. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a strike. Evens the count.
Casale is certainly prone to this strikeout. His percentage of strikeouts so far with 42.9%. Joe would love to get him one more punch out here.
Tried to get him to chase. Kiermaier takes off 3-2 and Casale fouls it back. Morrison the base runner at third, Kiermaier at first. He's going to take off once again. Payoff. Casale takes down and in, ball 4. So they're loaded up now. You've got the tough Logan Forsythe coming to the plate.
Tough contact hitter.
Second walk of the inning for Joe. Shows Nagy's going to come out and pay a visit. Forsythe 0 for 1 in his career against Joe. So 21 pitches here in the ninth. Clock running down, so Dan Molina, the home plate umpire, has to break up the meeting. Always looks like pitching coaches and players do that on purpose to make the umpire walk all the way to the mound, and then they turn around, break the meeting as he walks up the slope.
This is a, hey, how you doing? Doing a good job tonight.
Forsythe tonight 1 for 4. Single back in the first. His last time up got jammed and grounded to short. No place to put him. He looks at a strike.
Both infielders coming in just in case a wide throw back to Joe Smith. Good decision, protection.
Slider. A little outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, just off the plate. Calhoun very shallow and right. The 1-1. That's a little looper to center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Morrison comes in to score, and Kiermaier easily scores, and the Rays have themselves a 4-2 lead. Forsythe with his second hit picks up his 11th and 12th runs batted in.
We talked about him being a good contact hitter. Didn't necessarily square this one up, but put it in play. He finds the middle of the field. That's below the barrel of the bat, just above the handle. Running fastball inside, but finds the outfield grass to drive in 2.
A couple of walks in the inning. So it's a 4-2 Rays lead. And here's Brad Miller. Shortstop takes outside. He's 1 for 4 on the night. He's singled back into third. Miller shoots one out the left. Nava drifting over, will make the running catch for the third out, but not before. Forsythe gives the Rays a 4-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Calhoun, Crone, and Giavotella coming up for the Angels. And they're going to face Jesus Colome, who pitched last night, closed it out for the Rays, picked up his 7th save through a total of 11 pitches, picked up a couple of strikeouts. 1-1 record and a 2.45 ERA for the right-hander, a one-time starter. Good changeup. Good life on the fastball, but he likes the off-speed stuff.
Yeah, he does. He throws quite a few off-speed pitches, but he does have a 93 to 97 mile-an-hour fastball.
Cole Calhoun leading things off 0 for 3 tonight. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Rays with 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. They've stranded 7. The Angels 2 runs, 6 hits, committing 2 errors and left 5 men on base.
Got to get that leadoff runner on now here for Cole. Got a lot of room on the left side of the infield. He throws that changeup all speed away to shoot that ball through that shortstop hole.
Two balls, no strikes. Caught the corner.
Look at this, get some offense going. The Angels so far this year have scored 2 or fewer runs, 10 games, 0-10, and when they do so, need some runners here. Switch around defensively. Miller on the left side of the infield. Longoria was prior to that.
2-2. Cole goes down swinging on the off speed, 1 down.
Nasty pitch. The ball down and in. Slide piece.
Crone 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Looks at strike 1. There's that 95-mile-per-hour fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. We had 2-0 lead in the 5th. Top of the 6th. Rays answer back. A home run by Souza. And 2 runs in the top of the 9th to take a 4-2 lead. Giavotella on deck. 0-2, and he jammed him, fouls it back.
Well, offensively, Tampa hitting .228 as a team at the bottom of the American League, but they do find ways to score runs, especially via the long ball. But that last inning, they manufactured a couple runs.
Crone reaches for this one and pulls it to left. A 3-hit game.
This pitch was well below the strike zone. Went down and got that pitch, has put it in play. 3-hit game for C.J. Crone.
Johnny tonight 1 for 2, a single with a run scored in the 5th. Had a sac bunt in the 7th.
And a lot of room on the right side of the infield here also for Giavotella.
Small lead for Crone at first base. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. Miller to Forsythe. And a double play ends it for the Angels as the Rays take game 2 by the final of 4-2.
Boy, Weaver threw the ball so well. Tampa. Forsythe with a good at bat, a contact hitter came through, didn't necessarily square that one up, but a